Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. And today in this video we're going to look at English paper 2 rewrites. So the type of rewrite we're going to look at is the one which involves prefer to and rather than. Prefer to and rather than. Okay, so now the key thing you need to understand about rewrite is the same way mathematical formulas work. So the same way rules for structure work in English. So for you to get better marks under rewrites, you need to understand that each rewrite is same as a mathematical formula. For example, here this formula is used to find force of an object. For you to find force, what is required is you need the mass of that object and acceleration of that object. Same applies when you want to answer rewrite involving prefer to and rather than. So the rules for prefer to or rewrite involving prefer to and rather than is that prefer, the word prefer, this one, is always followed by the preposition to. Okay, let me just do this. This word here, prefer, is always followed by this word here, to. The two will never be different. They will never be different. Always, each time when they ask you to start a sentence with prefer to, just know somewhere in that sentence you need to have to. Then you'll get that correct. That sentence, you'll get that sentence rewritten correctly. Why? Because they have followed this rule which states that prefer is always followed by the preposition to. Same applies as this formula here. When you have this two, you always get force. Same applies when you have this in your sentence and two in your sentence, that answer will will be correct. For example, let's look at 1994 paper 2. Question number 1. I'd rather eat oranges than drink mossy. I repeat, I would rather eat oranges than drink mossy. So you see here, the question will actually begin I prefer. This is in bold. What is in bold here? What is asking you to start with. Then this is the rest of the answer. So for you, how are you going to write this sentence? Simply say I prefer eating. And one other thing you need to know that the verb in the first sentence here, which is it, changes to present continuous tense, which is eating. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, the verb always changes to present continuous tense. So there are two rules so three in total. The rules are from speaking in this video, or what I've told you in this video. There are three things you need to take to consideration. The verb always changes to past tense or present tense to present continuous tense by adding ing to that verb. So each time you are asked to write a sentence involving prefer, always know that the verb will always change to present continuous tense. How do you change that? By adding ing. For example, here the verb was eat. Then here in the answer, the verb we added ing. Same applies to this one here, this verb. That's the only changes. And here you have prefer. Like they said, is always followed by the preposition to. So I prefer eating oranges to here to drinking mossy. If you want, you can put it in this way. Prefer in this sentence which they are going to give you, you are going to have two sentences. You understand that? You're going to have two sentences. For example, here, I would rather eat oranges. This is one complete sentence on its own. It's able to stand as a complete sentence. And then this one here, drink mossy. It's a complete what? Sentence. So now they have joined these two sentences using what? Than. So for you to write these sentences starting with I prefer, you have to join these two complete sentences by using what? The word to. That's how you identify where to place the word to. Simply join the two sentences using what? To. If you start with I prefer. Hope these rules are clear. Now let's go to this rule here. Rather is always followed by the preposition than. For example, here the same example can work. They are under rewrites involving prefer to and rather than. They will always give you what? A sentence, two sentences which you need to join together using what? The prepositions to or than. So where do you need to join in two sentences using to is when you start with what? Prefer. Then where you need to join two sentences using than, you need to start with what? Rather. So each time we start with rather, I would rather, have you seen here? I would rather, just know that in order for me to join those two sentences, I need to use a preposition known as what? Than. So rather is always goes with what? That. Or rather is always married to what? Than. So where do you put this than or to is where when joining two sentences. I hope it's clear. You have example here. Example here is clear. Let's look at example 4. Rather. These are 4 examples. Another example. Here number 3. Let's change the color a bit. Okay. So here, as I was saying, I prefer going to the cinema. This is a complete sentence on its own. So you have sentence number 1 here. 2, watching television. This is also a complete sentence on its own. So how many sentences do we have here? We have 2 sentences. And for us to join those 2 sentences to make one complete sentences, what preposition did you use? We use the to. I prefer going to the cinema to watching television. This is correct. Why? Because it has followed the rule of prefer to structure. Prefer to. The rule says that if you start with prefer, you need to join those two sentences using what? To. And here this has taken place. So this one is correct. Now they will ask you in the exam, begin I would rather. Just tell yourself what, okay, I have 2 sentences here and I need to join these 2 sentences without using and, or, but, or other all those other words of conjunction words. You need to join them without using those conjunction words. So how do you join them? You need to remember the rule says that okay, rather always goes with it than. So rather it has started, you should know it, you already know that the next word will come with it than. So how do you identify where to place than? Is to see where the next sentence or sentence number 2 is supposed to come in. So for example here, I would rather go to the cinema. I know this is sentence number 1 already. So how do I join sentence number 2? I just use the word than, then I get sentence number 2. Then you write it here. Hope it's clear there. Here's some exercises, you can try them. Then you give your answers in the comment section below. Then I'll respond to you if the answers are correct or not. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.